find out who you are. Spend some time with yourself. Who do you want to be? Because the best way to be who you want to be and the best way to have the life you want to have is to know what it is, so that you're actually aiming for something.
Hi, I'm Beth, the Slow Lane Rambler. Today we're talking with author Theresa Nash. She's going to show us her van, introduce the newest member of her family, and then tell us about her writing process and her participation in NovNov. She's going to give us a few tips too. Let's go have a look. So Theresa, what year and what type of vehicle are you in?
This is a 2019 Ford Transit. It was part of a fleet of vans that you could fly in over to the West Coast and rent them. And it was designed to be like a hotel on wheels. So it came with a lot of bells and whistles. It came with a shower. These here were designed to hold 2 suitcases and a closet for hanging stuff up. Obviously, that's not what I use it for now. Has the lagoon table. It has a little... Okay, so it has this little pull-out door here, but it also has this. Here we go. So this is a nice...
That is nice.
place. So that 2 people, because the passenger seat turns around,
Okay.
2 people can actually use the lagoon table.
Like that.
Since Mai has arrived, I have used this more often for my butt.
And this is Mai. He is the newest addition to Theresa's family.
He is a res dog. We found him. He showed up at one of our campsites just a little over a week ago. He was very hyper alert, extremely quiet, would not make a sound, very, very skittish. And now, as you can see, he's not. He's not any of those things. You see his face with all those spots all over it? Some of those are scars, but some of those, quite frankly, you can also see it by his ear. He really likes whiskey. Yes, and we were trying to drink some Carolyn's Irish whiskey, you know, Irish cream. And yeah, he decided he really, really liked that. So he got into it and got some spilled all over him, and now he's going to get a bath. We'll see how he likes that.
I really do love Mai, the name. Tell me how you came up with that unique name.
I had to find the right name for him. And everybody was suggesting names, including my son-in-law. And he said I should name him Coyote. And he wasn't wrong. Not because of the trickster, because he's not a trickster, but he is someone who's going to help me learn lessons. And he's helping to transform my life. And he's freaking hilarious. He is so much fun. He does get into some mischief. You get into some mischief, don't you, Mai? And so, yeah, what really settled it finally was I asked someone, I asked a Navajo at one of the stores we were in, how you would say coyote in, in Navajo, in Navajo. And he told me, Mai so. But what I found out is the so turns it into a wolf. So it's just Mai. Magic closet. All of my stuff and things, basically. Hygiene, medicine, makeup, lotions, all that kind of stuff. And I just use Velcro to hold the stuff that I need, you know, handy.
Nice.
I just hang it up there. Contact lenses. Yeah, Velcro is my friend. And these little things are awesome. So it's wonderful. I can keep a lot of stuff in here and it doesn't take up a whole lot of room. This would have been for them to hang up their clothes. It's got a bar up there too.
Oh, that's nice.
I just find that it suits this more often. I do hang up my clothes, but not in here.
Yeah.
And not in my bathroom either. This is the space. Hard to open with the table there, but this is the space where my appliances and food mostly go in here. I have so much tea. I just couldn't bring myself to throw away my tea. I love tea.
Now, I absolutely love this feature wall. Did you do that, or was it already here?
No, I did that almost first thing. My daughter laughed at me because we flew out to Washington State to pick up the van. And I brought 2 suitcases. And what she didn't realize was what was in the second suitcase.
Oh.
It was shelves, and this is contact paper from the dollar store.
Oh, golly.
So we literally put this up while we were traveling back from Washington. We stopped and put this up. I just like my place to feel homey.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just contact paper, which means it'll be very easy to replace. I just have to peel it off, and
in the
if
front
I want
here,
to change it,
we have the lagoon table, and you have added this beautiful curtain to separate the space.
Yep. It's a regular blackout curtain on the back. It's very gray. So when I pull this closed from the front, it just looks like a utilitarian thing.
Okay.
Of course, I'm pretty sure the dragonfly and a few other things give it away, but you know, it's pretty bland. But I really love this. It again makes it feel really
stylish.
homey.
And behind the curtain is your passenger chair, which would turn around, swivel.
Yep. All my winter coats. In the summertime, these aren't here, but all my winter coats hang here, and my sweaters.
Oh,
And
very
stuff.
nice.
Got this baby gate down here for him. It works to keep him in the back. He really, really wants to be under my feet, which you could imagine doesn't work well when you're trying to drive.
Yeah. You have a little baby Jackery here.
I do.
Is this just for supplemental kind of?
It is. I use it particularly for. I'll show you this here. I use it particularly for this. Mainly for this, honestly.
And what is this?
This is a little electric lunch pail.
Oh.
And I can put soup or beans.
Wonderful.
All kinds of leftovers that can go in here. And yeah, I just plug this in. It's either off or on. Run it on the Jackery for about 20 minutes, and I've got a nice hot meal.
Very
And it uses minimal electricity.
Nice. So we've stepped into the van now, and I'm going to take a quick peek. You're up in your nook, your writing nook and sleeping nook, but I'm going to take a quick peek into this beautiful bathroom of yours.
Yep.
And so
It's got more stuff in there than it normally would, because with the puppy, you know, I'm going to have to rethink where everything goes. I try and keep it minimal in there. It's a diaper pail for my trash can. It comes out with such a skinny tube of a trash bag that I can throw it away anywhere.
And then this is really quickly your kitchen area here. Yep. And you have... I keep the stuff I use the most handy. And the one question I do have is you have water storage on board. And you have a pretty nice amount of water. How much water do you have?
45 gallons. I know. I haven't met anyone who has that many gallons on board.
Not a lot of people have a drawer-style Friggy, so I'm just going to take a quick look.
It's stuffed full.
That as it should be. But it's a fridge, and it just slides in like this.
Yep.
And that's an unusual feature that...
I love that. And then I got my silverware under there, and of course the broken drawer, which is there a van that doesn't have a broken drawer?
Not at all. We all have that. So this is where the magic happens.
It is. This is, like I told you, I hang up my clothes, so all of my clothes are either here or in here. I did add this into the van. And look, it came with a television. How cool is that? And of course, my mandatory Max Air fan. I have added certain things like, oh, I can unplug this. So I've got these magnetic rings in a lot of places. Like you'll probably see there was one on the edge there. I've got one up here. These are just places that literally just, I plaster my phone on them.
Oh.
And then they come, you know, it's just because it's magnetic, so I can put my phone on it.
Oh, so smart.
To watch things, yep. And sometimes, like here, sometimes I have a better signal when my phone's up close to the top, and I'm using that
oh
as...
my goodness.
I'm using that as my Wi-Fi hotspot, so I literally hang it from the ceiling.
And did you find those on Amazon?
Yes, I did, actually. They have... white, dark blue, and black the last time I looked.
Okay.
And I have them everywhere. I even have one in the bathroom. So it's just really handy. When I put my phone down, it's very easy to get things lost in a van. I don't know why, but it is. And then this is my desk. And I usually just shove it up in that corner there. It stands up. And the legs, when they're folded, the legs actually hold it in place. And... and it's got a place for my mouse right here. And then my laptop goes just like this. And I work like this. So this is literally a pet bed.
Oh.
And it helps because the mattress wants to sag down when you sit on it. This helps keep the surface under me a little bit more firm. To avoid back problems when you sit cross-legged all the time like this.
Yeah.
You generally, and this isn't a good example, but you generally want to keep your knees lower than your hips.
Okay.
And if you can arrange a sitting situation like that, it's less likely to hurt your knees or your back. But this works perfectly for me. This slides real easy because it's got these little ski, you know, sled kind of feet on there. Keep my drink over here. And yeah, and this little thing here is actually my T-Mobile hotspot.
Oh,
And
nice.
I stuck a magnetic thing, well, not a magnet, I stuck the antenna piece. The other thing I use my Jackery for is to power this little thing here. It boosts the signal a little bit from the front to the back. There's an antenna, magnetic antenna that I have over above my passenger's seat, and it runs all the way down to here. So this gets a better signal than my phone oftentimes back here. It's
that's
really nice.
really nice.
And I pay $50 a month for that, for 100 gigabytes. Oh, and I also do my YouTube videos in here.
You got your light?
So yes, so that's my beautification light. It's really a very comfortable space. I do have to move my bedding out of the way every morning. That's my version of making the bed. But it's fine. And I invested in these sheets. If you can see, it has a zipper here. Evidently my bed's not tall enough to make it nice and smooth. But it is. I can just zip off the top part of the sheet, throw it in the laundry, and then I replace it with another one. There's 2 top sheets on it. And yeah, it just zips right up. And it makes making the bed very, very easy.
That would be nice.
Yes, and I don't have to lift up the mattress every time to get the sheet back on. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of upper body strength and agility right now. This is a full size.
Okay.
It came with a queen.
Goodness.
Yep, and I replaced it with my purple mattress, which I love my purple mattress. And yeah, it works out real good. It gave me some more room to have this and my clothes and this small area here where I find out that where I keep all the stuff that no longer fits in my drawers because I'm overstuffed. I have to minimize again.
Yeah.
And instead of a junk drawer, I have a junk basket. Oh yeah, I should show you this wall here.
There we go.
Let me show you this wall here. So this is my trash can because I need one handy up here. And this is my junk drawer equivalent. This is the I've fallen and I can't get up holder. So if I fall down, somebody can grab the other end of it if I'm fallen, and they can help pull me up without hurting themselves. And then I have these little hooks here for my eyeglasses. They just close up like that if I ever wanted to close them up. They're little buttons. And I just use this to hang up all my pairs of glasses because I lose them. This came with the van. It's really ugly. I'll replace that someday. My little, needs new batteries. I have a little touch light up there in case I need it. I have lights that go on both sides of the bed. And of course, the mandatory vines with twinkle lights. I think that's mandatory. I do.
It is.
And back here, I actually have, when I plug it in, it's a light bar. It's a perfect situation. I got this little backrest, which I always thought was the stupidest thing on the planet. Because what are these for? I mean, what are they for? Your arms aren't going to fit on that. Nobody's arms going to help. It just, I guess it helps stabilize it or whatnot. But it gives me enough of a back support so that if I want to lean back and watch TV or sit with a friend up here, which I've done.
Oh, that's nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
I love my space.
It's a beautiful space.
It is. So it's my office, my living room, my bedroom. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your van with us.
Absolutely.
Theresa and I were camped at the BLM Chutes and Ladders campground just outside of Cortez, Colorado. So we stepped outside to enjoy the beautiful weather and continue our conversation. What genre do you write in, and how did you choose it?
I write in fantasy, speculative fiction, uh, contemporary fantasy, they sometimes call it, contemporary fiction. Basically, it's I have two I have two worlds that I work in. One is the contemporary world of today, and then I have an interdimensional realm that I'm also dealing with in my book. How I picked it, I didn't actually. I had a dream one day, literally I had a dream way back. I want to say the year 2000. I've gotten one book written since the year 2000. And yeah, I had a really interesting dream, and I started to write it down in my diary. And then I just kept going. And I just turned it into a story that I was just telling myself in my mind. And about a month later, after I'd just been writing this, whole story down from it, I realized, oh my God, I might be writing a book. So then I started writing a book. It took a while, but yeah, I did. I love it. And the whole thing came, to me from that dream.
Speaking of which, tell us about your first novel and how it relates to what you're currently writing.
Well, my first novel, it was originally called The Miracle Mixer. But when I listed it on Amazon and you did a search thing for Miracle Mixer, you came up with a version of a KitchenAid, an actual mixer. So I decided maybe that wasn't the best name for it. It took me a while to find another one, but because of some of the intricacies of the story, I ended up choosing Stone Destiny. After I finished the first book, which was, as I said, called Stone Destiny, I put together the information for the second book. And as I was trying to put together what the second book might be about, I discovered that I actually had material for 5 to 7 books. I'm not sure, let's work on book number 2 first. But yeah, so basically I have them plotted out for 5 books. And in the first book, it starts out with a woman named Rishana, and she is riding the strands. You can kind of picture that as if you've ever seen pictures of the brain and electrical pulses going between the neurons. This is kind of what the strands look like. They are the strands of probability for the world as far as what's going to happen. And she rides them, and she throws miracles into the probability strands. And as she was throwing a miracle one day, she fell off the strands. Not supposed to happen. She fell off the strands into a body. And when she grew up and turned around 30, weird things started happening. People started trying to kill her. And she was out on a blind date one day, and things happened there. Policeman comes into her hospital room, and basically someone tries to kill her in the hospital room. They all end up going on the lam. Her blind date, this police officer that she just met, and her. And they are trying to keep away from the bad guys while all sorts of other things happen.
So you're currently participating in an event called NovNov.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain what that is and how you became involved?
Well, I literally just learned about NovNov because I went to go sign up for NaNoWriMo this year, which was the National Novel Writers Month. NaNoWriMo is no more. So, bye-bye NaNoWriMo, and people work together to try and put together, there's several options out there. And this one was called NovNov. It has a similar approach. It has a similar interface online. There's a lot about it I haven't learned yet, but yeah, it's pretty helpful at this point. It's a lot. It reminds me a lot of my interface with NaNoWriMo, and
Nice.
It seems really easy to do without a lot of fanfare.
Nice. You have on book 2 4 different beginnings, and you are in the process of reading the beginnings and allowing the viewers to vote on their preference. So first, I would encourage everybody head on over to the Destinies. I will definitely have a link in the description. But tell us about what made you want to do that and give some kind of power, in essence, to your reader.
A couple of reasons. One is, as I am doing my, my daily count of words for this novel, it's in such rough shape and in the middle of everything that I wasn't sure reading excerpts from today's words would really be helpful to the audience at this point. So I'm trying to, while I'm going forward with the story, I'm taking them way back to where I was in my planning processes and the writing that I've already done. The second book, for whatever reason, has been really difficult for me to know where to start it. Now, with my first book, I started it in a very interesting place. I'll share that with the readers one of these days. Wrote a wonderful scene and then had to take the whole thing out because it turned out that just wasn't where the story was supposed to start. So I'm in a similar situation with this book. I'm juggling 3 different storylines within the book, 3 different points of view, as they say. Definitely read the first book. It's on Amazon. It's called Stone Destiny by Theresa Nash. Just look it up. You'll find it. The first piece for me is something that a lot of writers use and are probably very familiar with. It's called a GMC chart, which is what I named the whole spreadsheet after. But there's a GMC chart. It talks about goals, motivation, and conflict. So what are the heroes or heroines' goals? What are their motivation to go after those goals? Why do they care? And then their inner conflict. And as it turns out, that's not just one little box you make for the whole book. That's pretty much what you have to do for every scene. In every scene, what is their goal? What is their motivation? And what's going to make it difficult for them to achieve that? So I have a whole pattern of that for all of the primary people in each of the realms that we talked about. And after that, I look at plot points, which I generally put together my own plot point sheet based on the hero's journey, which a lot of people know about. It's not exactly like anyone else's. It's the way I can think of it that helps me write a story or plot out the story. And then I go through that, especially the plot points based off of the GMCs for each scene, and I plot out what I expect to happen in what order. This is the only way I can keep 3 worlds kind of tied together. So yeah, I have moving worlds, moving parts, and I can't tell you how much fun it is for me to write it. It is just so much fun for me to write it. It's just wonderful. I love it. And yeah, I'm doing all this plotting, and generally after I'm done with all this plotting, it's just going to have to go based on my subconscious. Okay, I've written it all out in there, but it's a bit of a guide. But I'm not afraid to stray away from it at all. I don't necessarily write the scenes in order, and then I don't know where creativity comes from, but it certainly helps me write scenes out of order, and then I'll suddenly realize, oh, this is where that goes, and be able to drop it in. So,
Do you find that van life has in any way inspired your writing?
oh yeah. Not only does it give me more time to be able to do my writing because I've retired now, but just I don't know how to explain it. When I lay back and look at the stars and breathe all this fresh air, and it makes you think of larger things. It makes you think of, well, it makes me think of how small I am in the world, and yet how important each individual person is. You know, that we all have a place in however you want to think of the universe, the realms, whatever language people want to use. We're all cogs in that wheel that turns round and round. We are necessary cogs. The world would not be the same without us. It absolutely would not. And so when my mind starts wandering off of there, I want to write. I want to express this stuff in this way. And I'm going back to revisit book 2 here after a year, where I did most of the plotting. So I'm reacquainting myself with all of it. And dialogue almost always needs to be revisited because I really like to make the dialogue natural sounding. So I will go back and revisit that. particularly now. So many, it's funny how just in the past year or so, how much of actual dialogue is changed by the changing circumstances in the world. AI wasn't a thing when I plotted this out. It wasn't a thing at all. I mean, AI has just gone from zero to, I don't even know what you would measure that with. I want it to be my words. AI cannot do what people can do.
Yeah.
The creativity, where creativity comes from, there's nobody knows. But what I do know is that it is more than brain cells bumping up against one another. Sometimes the story just doesn't want to come to you, and other times it does. I could write for 8 hours at a time. My best time to write is in the evening, so I'd be up till 3 or 4 in the morning writing. My brain dead, but I don't know, maybe that helps the process. I'm getting out of my own way. I'm not criticizing as much when I'm that tired. It's just the story coming through the way it comes through. It's funny, I can tune out the whole world when I'm writing. And a lot of times, especially if I'm stuck, the best thing to do is to go out into the world, listen to people talking. I can drown them out, but I can also just sit there and just overhear conversations. You know, the oddest thing will just kick off. Oh yeah, that I could turn that into something, just by hearing people talk.
How do you develop a character? Are they based on real people?
Well, you know, I have to say my first book, the heroine, was a little bit autobiographical, or you know, in a in a perfect world, this is who I would be, kind of thing. So sure, there's a lot of me in the very first heroine of the story. I don't know if that's true for every writer, but it's certainly true for me. And you know, and idealized, of course, because you know the other characters. Yeah, part of what I did was I looked for pictures. I would get these characters in my head. For example, there's a couple named Lydia and Tim, and they are based on my grand aunt and uncle, who are they are my example of a loving forever couple. And so yeah, they're based off of that. But also I go out and I find pictures of actual actors to remind me of the person. It's easy for me to get their voices in my head. And especially if I have pictures of them and I can remember, it helps trigger things like that.
So, if someone were just beginning their writing journey, what thoughts or advice would you give to someone?
Well, first thing I would say is, yeah, if you're writing, you're a writer. That's it. You are a writer. Don't feel ashamed to call yourself a writer if you're writing. And if you're just starting out, I would say just write. That's the biggest thing that you can do. And while you're writing, read and notice. Start listening to how-to books on how to write. Absolutely look at that stuff. As a matter of fact, I would say the simplest and yet most helpful writing advice that I received was from a woman named Kathy Yardley. She is an author of many books, and she also has a series on how to write. It's, for example, the first one, I believe, well, the first one that I listened to, because I do audiobooks, is called Rock Your Writing. I would absolutely look at that. It is some of the most essential advice, and she boils it down. I mean, it's a 2 hour, I think, audiobook, and you will get so much out of it. I listen to that thing over and over again, and I still go back every few months and listen to it again, because it's the basic essentials, it's the grounding, it's the place to start. When you get lost, well, when I get lost, I will listen to it again because it will remind me. I would absolutely recommend her books, and she also does coaching. I've done coaching sessions with her, and she insists that you do the GMC before you even do that. So that's also very helpful too.
Nice. What made you want to go into van life, especially as a creative? Did the two things seem to kind of go well together, or did you consider that even when you chose van life?
Van life was a way for me to get out and see parts of the world that I haven't seen. Even in America, there's so much I haven't seen. There's so much, and I'm so curious. And I think that feeds my creativity. I've seen places now that I just didn't know existed. The cinders. When we went to the cinders, and there was this black gravel everywhere. Hardly anything is growing. It's volcanic. It's how long has it been like that? I mean, the questions that arise, and yeah, absolutely, you'd be surprised at the things that just can end up in a book. That there's so much I don't know.
What would you then say to anyone who's considering or thinking about van life?
I would say again, do your research. Make sure it's for you. I mean, a lot of things over the years have called to me, and not all of them were for me, if that makes sense. And what you find is if it's one of those things for you, one of those just passing things, you can spend a lot of money on stuff you don't need, going down the wrong trail. So do some research, and included in that research, you want to try it. Try it in little bursts. If you've never been camping before, and found out that that's comfortable for you, van life might not be for you. So go camping. You can try it out in your car. You don't actually have to have a van or that. You can try it out in so many different ways. Just minimalize and say, okay, I'm taking my car for the weekend and I'm just going to sleep in my car and make food outside or figure out what I can do inside and spend some time out in nature and see how you feel about it. Find out if it's you. It might be too much trouble for you. It might be something you want to do temporarily. So there's a lot of decisions you'll have to make. And just make sure that you know those things going in. That even if you love it now, you might not love it in a few years from now. So make sure that the arrangements that you make are comfortable for you if you look around after a year or two and go, oh yeah, I'm done with this.
What's one thing that you either bought or brought with you that was unnecessary?
Oh my gosh. I bought a bathtub for my van. I bought my bathtub for my van even after I knew I had a shower, because I'm a bath person. I'm not a shower person. I mean, showering is obviously what I have to do now, but I love to bathe. If you grew up the times that we did, you probably saw those above ground pools that everybody had, and it was lined with a liner, and it was held up by stays on the side, and then sometimes you had some metal stuff that you went around the sides. It's similar to that, only it's one person sized. So it sits up about this high. I can climb into it. It's about this high, and I can fill it up with nice warm water and crawl in. Yes, it's a tub, and it fits in my shower, and I can actually fill it up with hot water, and I can get in it, and oh my God, it's so comfortable. But it's not realistic. It's really not realistic, but yeah, I tried. I knew my retirement was not going to be, just kicking back. It's just not who I am. What do I want to say to the people? I would just say, be who you are. If I'm surprised to learn over the years, one of the biggest things that I have learned about people is not everybody is reflective. Not everybody reflects on their life as they're going along. Not everyone thinks about who they are, who they want to be, and why. And I guess that would, honestly, I know it seems a little weird, but yeah, that would be my biggest advice to people. Find out who you are. Spend some time with yourself. Who do you want to be? Because the best way to be who you want to be, and the best way to have the life you want to have, is to know what it is, so that you're actually aiming for something. And the sooner you start doing that, the sooner you'll start making all the fumbles and mistakes that the rest of us do. It won't go smoothly, but you can get a great deal to where you want to be in life. And what you'll find out is that it has very little to do with that raise or that promotion. I won't say it has nothing to do with money. I'm not one of those people who says money can't buy you happiness. I think we all know money can't buy you happiness, but the lack of it can certainly make life very difficult, okay? So it's not that you don't have a job to do. It's not that you won't have responsibilities, but you can't get anywhere unless you aim for it. And I'm fortunate enough to say I never in my life thought I would grow up to be a quality assurance analyst. Okay, never. It wasn't on my list as a kid. It was not. Um, but that was my job. And fortunately, it was a job that I did enjoy. It wasn't the big thing. I mean, I was going to be obviously a rock star, or country western star, as the case might have been. You know, and if I wasn't going to be that, I was going to be an author. I did manage that though. I am an author. I actually wrote a book. And I've done so much in my life, and that when I look in the mirror now, I like me. I look back on my life, and oh God, yes, there were gobs of mistakes that I made. Um, and it's not that I didn't make mistakes, it's that I have very little regret because I knew who I was, I knew who I wanted to be. And so I aimed for that stuff. When I had kids, I wanted to be the kind of mom that my daughter is. so she's a great mom. And I like to think that part of the reason that she's a great mom is because I was aiming for it. I'm sure I missed. I'm absolutely sure I missed. I could have been a better mom, absolutely. But I always made sure that my kids knew one thing, that I loved them, no matter what. And I'm very proud of my girls. I'm very proud of my life. I've done things other people haven't done. I've stepped out into the world to try things, to take risks. And I guess that's again what I'm doing with Vanlife. It's like, okay, I'm retired now. Um, I don't have to be anywhere in a hurry, have any particular deadlines except the ones that I put on myself. And it's wonderful. Get out there, you know, do some things. But mostly find out who you are. Find out who you are. Once you know who you are and who you want to be, the rest of life, no matter what happens, you will enjoy it.